Hello and a warm welcome to all of you. So today we'll be discussing on the DevSecOps content, which will be going through for the whole course. So I have covered the basic fundamentals, but it is not a comprehensive list, but it's just to let you know like what all things you can do with Linux, Docker, and how do you do the daily operations and all the stuff. So it just cover the basics. If you have already gone through the basics or you know the basics, you can just skip and just maybe refer to only the security sections or the sections which you are not aware. So the first is I covered the Linux hands-on part, like it covers the basic commands and then how to have a CIS image and what is a CIS image in Linux, etc. from the security perspective. Then going to the Docker, we have covered the whole hands-on part for the Docker, how to create image, post it to the third-party repository like Docker Hub, scan for the Docker vulnerability or vulnerability in the images, and those things we have covered that part. Then how to use YAML for creating Docker images, etc., etc., and also the Docker commands. Then for CI/CD tool, that is a DevOps pipeline tool, we have used Jenkins, and I've just gone through briefly how Jenkins can be secured or what are the actions you need to take to secure Jenkins, create a secure CI/CD pipeline. Then we have discussed about the infrastructure as a code. So for that we have used Terraform. So even if you create infrastructure via Terraform, which is for automation, you should also scan your YAML for the security misconfigurations and those stuff. So we have covered those parts and automated certain cloud components using Terraform. So then, again, for the GitHub pipeline, we have used YAML, and we have seen how to use YAML because YAML is not only used for any CI/CD pipeline, but also for various other things like Docker, Kubernetes, etc. So it's an essential component of DevOps or DevSecOps tool. So we have covered that part also with the hands-on. Then for the cloud, we have just used AWS, and that is only to show a small demo how you can use Terraform as ISC to create resources in the AWS and secure it. Then for the DevOps tooling part or the DevSecOps tooling part actually, so in the CI/CD pipeline, normal CI/CD pipeline, we should have DAS, SAST, and SCA. So we have discussed here what is DAS, SAST, and SCA in the theory, as well as we have done the hands-on part along with the theory and discussed how to integrate this with pipeline. Then so all these things are like covered quite extensively from the security perspective. But again, we need to before implementing all these things, we need to know the best practices and the frameworks which are available in the security part. So for the security professionals, like they already know these things. So, but from the DevOps perspective or the developer perspective, he may not be knowing about these things. So we have covered about the security best practices and framework like OWASP top 10, and various others. Similarly, we have covered the what is CIS benchmark and the controls available in the market, how to be updated, or how to make your application CS compliance again with the controls, etc. Then we have discussed about CV database, how to get the CV for your application or system. Then what is the scoring system which is being used for the CVE, then CISA, etc. Then lastly, we have discussed the key security principles. Like this is the most important part, like what all things we should keep in mind while implementing the principles for the system, application, and various other devices. Then we have discussed a brief the difference between the penetration testing and vulnerability assessment, what it is and how it is applicable in the world of DevOps. So if you want to transition from DevOps to DevSecOps, this may be an essential course for you to grasp all the knowledge and try the hands-on part and implement it for your own organization or the application. Again, if you are a security professional, you may be knowing most of the things. So you'll get the hands-on part where you can integrate it with the DevOps tooling and think like how you can implement the DevSecOps in your organization or gain information on how to implement the DevSecOps part. Again, for developers also, it is very helpful because they'll know how to secure the code or how to do secure coding, etc. And even they'll get the fundamentals of DevOps and security part from this course.